And good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin, and just before the top of the hour, what had been potential Tropical Cyclone 9 became Tropical Depression 9. Again, that potential tropical cyclone classification was implemented by the National Hurricane Center a few years ago in order for warnings to start being issued for a storm that has not quite yet developed into either a depression or a storm. Still looks like this is going to be a fairly weak system as it approaches the coast of Texas and into Mexico. Now, where the storm is right now is almost due south of Louisiana. And before I even put the icon on the screen, you can kind of see where that center of circulation is right in through here. Doesn't look like a very healthy system. As a matter of fact, there are thunderstorms and clouds all over the Gulf of Mexico. So this is not a very well-defined system by any means. And as I said, just before the top of the hour, eventually became that closed-off circulation, which allows it for the designation of now a depression. Winds are at 35 miles an hour, moving west at 18, so it's actually moving fairly quickly. And before it does make landfall, the expectation is that it will become a tropical storm. Whether or not that is the H or I storm, we do have a wave that is out in the eastern Gulf, the eastern Atlantic, which is also being given a high % chance of developing. So it's going to be a race against time to see which one of these systems actually becomes our next named storm. If this is the H, it is Harold. If it is the I, it is Idalia, I believe. So it's going to be a determination as to whether or not this is the H or I storm. Again, it is expected to intensify a bit with winds of 45 miles an hour, possibly overnight tonight, and then will maintain that strength as it moves possibly right in between Corpus Christi and Brownsville, actually bringing those folks some much-needed rain, as we would have liked to have seen some of that much-needed rainfall. Here's a look at the water vapor to kind of analyze the upper atmosphere of why this is not expected to just explode in strength. Remember, Gulf of Mexico, some of the warmest temperatures we've seen on record. So why isn't able to take advantage of that? Well, you can kind of see from the cloud field itself, it's kind of spreading out. We do have a bit of wind shear to the north. Now, over the center of the system, there isn't much, but away from it, there is some wind shear that looks to be kind of taking a toll on the storm itself. There is also some of that dry Saharan dust around the center, and that will continue right up to the point of landfall. So all of those factors seem to be working in the favor of keeping this as a fairly weak, unorganized system. So just because the water temperatures are through the roof doesn't mean all storms are going to explode in strength. We were able to benefit some from the cloud cover, at least on the south shore. Note the direction of our clouds, and also what rain we did see around us today did help to keep our temperatures in check a bit. That is not going to be the case over the next several days. Join us on Eyewitness News at 5 for a complete look at the tropics and a look at the heat, which will continue and even get hotter into the middle of the week. For now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin.